Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to this weekend workshop. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul. But only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he witnessed his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating Satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that Satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate Satsangs for local Satsangees. He has led teams of Satsang members in translating important Satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make Satsang more accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating Satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of Satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Yeah, happy Saturday, everyone. Thank you, Eddie, for, talking about the inner Satsang aspect of it. And I have been thinking about, some of the discussion topics that we have had. I think we need to bring in some deeper topics now. So to that end, I think next month sometime we'll have a 5-week online course that'll go into some of the things that we have discussed in the past that we'll go deeper into. And also an interview style question and answer with some of the folks who have been, practicing this for a while. So, in some cases I'll ask the question, in some cases I'll answer. And that I think is pretty much agreed upon. So some of the folks have agreed to come as, as guest speakers in the coming sessions. That probably will start next month as well. But then, one of the things that I think there was a question that was asked, form versus formless. It's, I think at the end of the day, I still feel that, whatever I have practiced, it's, it is about imbibing, connecting, feeling the presence of transcendental energy. But then where do we start? With a form or just a formless energy? I think that's a topic that Guru Maharaj has talked about in several of his books, actually. And that is something that I'll talk more deeply in next coming weeks. We can also talk about it, even if there are questions around it, that will help in, some of the stuff we want to talk about in the coming weeks. So after the session. But again, these sessions, I always want to start these days with saying that, all we are here for, the first and foremost goal for today's session should be that we somehow, and, again, the whole process that Guru Maharaj, my grandfather, packaged was like how he connected to lasting peace, inner peace, and we should focus on that, right? And in the process, relax a little, calm our minds, physical resting, meditation being resting of our minds, and for the time that we are here, we orient ourselves inwards, stop the barrage that's coming in, and then start tackling the barrage of thoughts that's within. So how do we do that? So let's first get into the practice, the process through which we will, from inside and out, we want to calm down. We want to connect with peace. So, eyes lightly closed, and just sit in a relaxed posture, a posture where we can keep ourselves still for the time of the meditation. And, when you close your eyes, just observe your body, make sure there is no strain anywhere, there's no, discomfort, and then start focusing on your heart, and think of this transcendental energy in form of light. So it's better that we think of this transcendental energy in form of light around us, in front of us, and it's entering our heart, and it's enlightening our heart, and then it's distributing throughout our body, and that we're getting totally and completely immersed in this light. Mind wanders away, then we bring it back and bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that we are in the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light. That light is entering our heart and then distributing throughout our body. And we're becoming one with this light. We are becoming this energy. So yeah, we'll start with music, then music fades away, then we, meditate. We try to get into deep meditation in silence and just focus on this thought and this thought alone. Anything else you can do before and after, but at this time, just feel this presence, feel that this transcendental energy in form of light is in front of you, entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and that you're getting completely immersed in this light. Let's start now. A happy Saturday, everyone. So it's your time now. So Eddie, I was just thinking, the way this process works is like whatever your belief system be, whatever your approach to spiritual accent be, how you want to uplift yourself, this can augment, this can complement whatever you're doing. What's your thought on that?
Absolutely. This whole process that we're involved in is about raising consciousness. So, how do we do that? And we talk about the introduction, the outer satsang and inner satsang, and how outer satsang is more focused on external rituals, if you will. That's mostly how they're manifested in the West in terms of rituals and physical practices. But there's the inner aspect that we need to actually raise our conscious to higher levels such that we can reach enlightenment, peace, light, and love. And so that aspect we can, say is maybe missing from the present worldly spiritual practices. So by incorporating this as part of, in addition to our outer satsang practice, we allow ourselves then the possibility of reaching that higher state of consciousness where we experience, in some cases, what people call Christ consciousness, or what we call here, that state of peace or natural samadhi. They're kind of the same thing. So, in that sense, it's not in conflict with what we learned in the West in terms of religions and other spiritual practices, but it's supplementary. And we may say that it's even the restoration of full spiritual practice, if you will, because over periods of time, it's not uncommon for certain parts of teachings to be lost, right? So you can look at this as a restoring or recovering of what was lost and now making it complete and whole again. And the great thing about the satsang that we've learned here is that it doesn't require you to stop what you're doing in terms of any outer satsang practices, but to just supplement that by meditating 2 times a day for just a brief 20 minutes. So it will work into your work schedule, your family schedule, and your outer satsang or sadhana spiritual practices. So that's kind of the way I see this fitting into spiritual practices in the West.
Yeah, well articulated, and Jeff agrees. And Swan, did you join before we started the meditation? And did you hear the instructions, or I could do that again if you want. So any other thoughts, questions? Onkar, Shivangi?
Namaste, Bhayaji. All good here.
Bhaiya, namaste. Just want to say one thing, that we already have so many identities associated with us. those identities include our family identity, then our creature identity that we are humans. And then there are like, I went to this college, this university. So we keep on adding those identity to ourselves. And those are the identities basically when they conflict with each other, they actually cause friction. So what I see here when I join this session, I just want to leave aside all my identities and try to find myself within myself. So that's my objective is, and everything else, they still keep running in parallel. But once when I am here, I don't worry about what I associate with before I was doing this. That's all I would like to add.
Yeah, that's another way of saying that when we go towards this almost unfathomable concept of transcendental energy, and we become one with that, we are kind of leaving behind a lot of the quote unquote the petty things, or from limited to limitless to from how do you get towards this consciousness which is which transcends the world, which transcends the identities that you're talking about. So yeah. Namaskar.
सादर चरण स्पर्श भैया जी।
Namaskar. 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 So yeah. So Lynn, Kelly, anything else before we wrap up? So Eddie, well, what's the wrap-up thought today? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, in the past satsang, you had mentioned about hindrances and how we should try to avoid those. And one of the things we do in our lives is we cause disturbances within our heart. And when we do that, that presents obstacles and hindrances for us during our meditation. So, throughout the day, one of the things that we should practice is not to engage our ego, because that is one of the primary reasons for, causing disturbances and disorderliness within our hearts. And so just by being humble throughout the day, you can save yourself that strife and struggle that you face when you sit down to meditate, and keep your heart pure and calm just by being humble. So, something we should take away as we leave today and, go about our lives through the week.
Well, I was speaking on mute now myself. So did Warren join? Can't see if his audio is connected. Warren, can you hear me? I think no audio. All right, so have a great week ahead. And Eddie, if you talk to Warren, just you know, I hope he's doing better. And yeah, all the best wishes from all of us. So,
Okay.
and have a good week ahead, and we'll see you here soon. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.